Terra Luna Classic fam, if we want to see change, the time to act is right now. We have this proposal that is live right now to lower the validator maximum voting power to 10%. This proposal ends in just over 24 hours from the time we're recording this, and right now is the time to act if we want to see change. Now, right now, this proposal is not set to pass. The yes votes are only at 17%, while the no with no veto combined is at roughly 63%. So it's not looking like it's going to pass. However, it's definitely good for you to go out there and vote. For example, we had a proposal recently passed, raise validator minimum commission fee to 5%. Now this would stop the 0% commission validator. So we've seen basically running or gaining the vast majority of delegations. And so the goal behind this was to stop that. Now initially, about a day before this was set to pass, it was basically tied neck and neck between yes and no votes. And in the last 24 hours, it swung dramatically in favor of the yes votes. And so just because something looks bad now doesn't mean it's going to continue to look bad tomorrow. In addition to that, I got some comments saying that the delegators can't vote, it's the validators, but you can actually override a validator vote. So let's say, for example, you wanted to vote no on this proposal. Maybe you disagree with this idea and you wanted to join in this camp, but your validator, maybe they voted over here with this yes category and you don't like that. You don't like that your Terra Luna Classic is going into a yes vote when this is something that you don't want to see. You can actually click up here on this vote button. You could say, I want to vote no in this example, and you could submit that vote and that'll actually override the validator's vote. And so if you don't go in there and manually do the vote, the validator vote counts, but you can override their vote if that's something you want to do. The conversation around validator voting power and validator commission is so important because right now, these top 10 validators combined voting power is over 60%. That means that if they wanted to collaborate together, those top 10 validators, basically the top 9 validators, wanted to work together and determine, hey, we want something to pass, yes, or we want it to fail, they could actually determine that outcome. It doesn't matter if, let's say we had, for example, 120 of the 130 validators vote yes on a proposal. If those top 10 validators vote no, then that proposal is not going to pass. That's why it's so important for us to push for more decentralization in the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem and also make sure that we're going out and actively voting. And I get it. Look, we get a lot of proposals constantly. It could be overwhelming. A lot of people are wondering what's going on here. We see all these different proposals. Nothing's really progressing, at least not from a consumer perspective. The price isn't moving up. And so people get frustrated. But I think it's really important to remember we're the reason why we have all this voting on proposals, right? Now, if you go to another chain that is extremely centralized, for example, with this Binance wallet whitelist exemption, a centralized company would probably say, no, we don't want to make the exemption for Binance to actually not pay the on-chain transaction tax. That maybe sets a bad precedent, or different arguments that people have actually voiced on Twitter. And those are some influential members in the Terra Luna Classic community have voiced that sentiment. And so if we were under a centralized structure, they would be able to actually force that upon us. They'd be able to say, no, we are not whitelisting this. We don't care if Binance stops burning. But because we are decentralized, because we have the ability to go and vote, we can say, no, we want to support Binance. We want to support the Binance burns. It doesn't matter what the L1 task force says. It doesn't matter what any influential member in the Terra Luna Classic community says. At the end of the day, we get to determine what happens. And so, while yes, the price of Terra Luna Classic might not immediately go up if this proposal passes, but we all know just how important the Binance burns are to the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem. Binance burns represent over 50% of all the Terra Luna Classic burned so far. This is why it's so important for us to use our voting rights to make sure that we have our voice heard. Do we want to have a validator maximum voting power set at 10%? Or what do we want to do about these 3 different proposals that were put forward by Ed Kim just today? And if you want to learn more about what these 3 critical proposals are that Ed Kim put out, check out this video up here and I'll catch you on the next one.